Oh, we are back with more Master Duel Wednesdays. And they added more lore! They finally did it! Oh! They added more lore. They added the Orcus bits. The Orcus and the Crusadia bits. What are your rewards? Ah, Equamax. Why? Fuck Orchestrion. We have more lore! Oh, the long Gearsu stuff. What about this one? Ah, just dark bits. Maha! But yes, we have more lore. We have a lot of scenarios to go through, so... But it is a very fast way to build a Crusadia deck, too. Crusadia is actually a really fun deck to play. They better give me a Kaiju variant, because that's like the best variant of Crusadia. Secret powers of the planet! Ba-ba-ba! Few years passed since that nightmare of a tragedy. When Aram awoke, he found that the girl and her brother were no longer with him. Was Ib really gone now for good? The lost girl had lost its grip over Aram. His heart like an unbreakable vice. I couldn't protect Ib. If only I were stronger, then her death could have been avoided. The battle had left a chasm in Aram's heart. Now that Ib was gone, Aram had tasted for the first time just how terrifying a battle could be, and how devastating losing someone you treasured could be. He didn't have the heart to go on for his journey. Not for now. However, there was still one thing on his mind that bothered him. It was Ningirsu. Even now, Aram still had no idea where he had gone. No doubt, despair had taken him now that his beloved sister was no more, and that Aram was... And when Aram thought about how Ningirsu must be feeling right now, his heart became fraught with an immovable weight. But that's why exactly Aram had to do. Had to go after his childhood friend, and so the swordsman resumed his journey with Imduk. It was panic at the beginning to settle in Aram's mind. Or was it coincidence? Or did the Mekhnite that dwelled within him lead him to it? He stumbled across a dormant crawler. It occurred to Aram that it might have a clue, that he could try and rescue it, see if its communication system still worked. The birth of the Crusadia. Crusadia Maximus. Yes, this card is actually insane. If only it was level 3, it would be a perfect E-Telly target. Damn it, I want to get more of the Crusadia cards. Ah, the field spell. Yeah, the field spell is actually kind of good too. You actually need to run the field spell in this deck. Can be unlocked when you have the following items. Wow, that's funny. You actually have to do... That's cool. That's cool, although it's dumb. Aram succeeded in restoring the crawler and gaining access to its communication system along with a number of records. The detailed areas in which swarms were active, and the data on locations where many crawlers had been destroyed. Perhaps there was still some life in those areas. And if they were, maybe that's where they would know where Ningirsu had gone. Aram, with his new clue, Aram set off to the areas he had gleaned from the records. However, as useful as the information was, unfortunately it did not make Aram's expectations any easier. There was nary a sign of life to be spotted anywhere, and the journey was looking like it could be end in vain. Nature uncaring and relenting, continued to batter the two mercilessly. But at last, a glimmer of hope. At the end of this arduous tunnel, Aram and Imduk had stumbled across the remaining tribes of the planet. that of the fiery Reclusius, the stalwart beasts, and the sacred lakeside trees. Although this encounter brought no clues as to Ningirsu's whereabouts, Aram and Imduk were blessed with the legends and knowledge of the tribes. By linking them together, Aram was able to unlock a great secret of the power of the world and witness tremendous power that slumbered beneath its depths. That made him think the world chalice powers that were bestowed upon him. But this was greater, far greater, hiding unbeknownst to the dwellers of the planet. Was this what Lee had sought? Aram had thought? Were there more secrets that dwelled beneath the surface? One of them was a rebirth record inscribed within the history of the planet, chronicles from generations long forgotten. And the other bygone memories of planet's glorious age, where humans ruled from the apex. Long, long ago, there was a god who ruled the skies. With dragonkind as its disciples, it perpetuated the cycles of destruction and rebirth, and maintained the balance of the realms. However, the scale of destruction grew bigger each time, and one day, the balance of the two was thrown into great disarray. Once the delicate balance toppled, even the sacred skies could not hold back its destruction it brought. The god decided that it could no longer oversee the skies by itself. With its powers of creation, it brought forth layers and layers of the toughest earth, and sealed the powers of destruction within. With nowhere to go, the powers raged and raged until it boiled and scorched the very earth, morphing it. The torrent of the power rushed through the land and merged with the powers of creation, leaking onto the surface. It became a small manifestation of the cycle of death and rebirth, and gave life to the lands. With its last of strength, the god turned itself into a key, and entrusted its life blooming onto the planet before vanishing. You're good. In the years following its disappearance, the powers of destruction re-emerged on the surface many times. However, every time it did, the life on the planet would use the key, and with the help of the dragonkind, would push back where it came. Over time, the key became known as world, and the power of the destruction as the Great Darkness. Thus, the great legend of the world hero was born. Starlit hero, your sword swathed in light, may you triumph over the great darkness. Ah. Decades, centuries, maybe millennia had passed since the beginning of the rebirth records. The land was now populated with life known as humanity. They were a civilization who had gained scientific knowledge and technical know-how, and they were at the height of their prosperity. The glory came at a cost, for it not only tore the planet's gifts away from it, but also the dragons who protected it. The gods and dragons that once were had faded into obscurity as mere tales, and during that time, the key was excavated and uncovered. The humans were exhilarated by such a legendary and mystical find. Although its authenticity became gradually acknowledged, some expressed worries and doubts about the discovery. What did it mean for the key to have resurfaced at this time? Was it an omen? A warning of the inevitable battle between the world hero and the Great Darkness, like legend said? Now that they could see the key existed in its sword form, did this also not mean that there were powers of destruction indeed sealed within the planet's crust? Humanity began to assemble their finest to analyze the key. And with that, the team had formed with scientists who has shown her talents in all fields of medicine, astronomy, and archaeology. Her name was Lee. Lee was known all over the world as the foremost authority on computer science. The analysis was able to proceed smoothly thanks to her involvement. Not long after, the team branded itself as an organization called the Crusadia under the jurisdiction of the Confederation of Nations. Once they had analyzed the key a little further, they began to draft a plan that would help fight the imminent threats on their planet that would involve warriors of mechanical nature, and they called it Project Meknite. Work that was proceeded without a moment's delay. Meanwhile, Lee drew up a hypothesis and sought to validate it in secret. She wanted to get to the root of the appearance of Great Darkness that world hero legend spoke of. Recorded in legends were multiple tales of the key being used to drive back the Great Darkness by harnessing the powers of creation and destruction. It was simply not enough story. The Great Darkness would appear and the world hero would fight it back with its key. However, could the reverse also not be true? That they were using the key on the very thing that drew the Great Darkness out? Those who were entrusted with a divine mission and with the compensations who had sought to revive the powers of destruction, the world hero legend was ultimately a story of their power struggle over the key. Whoever had the key will control the fate of the world. Or so went Lee's hypothesis anyway. And the more time she spent trying to validate it, the darker her ambitions grew. The divine powers will be mine. Oh, Lee, you fucking bitch! Fuck Lee. Just fuck Lee. She's been a bitch this whole time. Oh, the next Meknite. The first Meknite. A few years had now passed since Project Meknite had begun, and finally, Meknite of the Morning Star was completed. It had been fitted with a core powered by the key and possessed enough power to fight the most deadly of wars. However, an incident had occurred during its test run, with none other than Lee as its test pilot. With the key, she had reversed all celestial powers coursing through its mechanical body and diverted them into the planet's core, faster than anyone could make a move. Lee had planned this all out. Before taking her place as a test pilot, the power had flown into the planet's core and spilt out the lands. Once again, the destruction from within had overflowed to the surface, scorching every bit of the earth that it touched. The entire earth was beginning to split into an unprecedented disaster, and the revival of the Great Darkness drew ever nearer. However, the resurrection was not without its obstacles. The Crusadians had created an assistive units, 7 Meknites in total. The remaining Meknites faced off against Meknite of the Morning Star and destroyed it, sealing away the Great Darkness back within the earth once more. But the Great Darkness was, at the end of the day, a divine force. One more than mortals failed to seal away completely. Inspired by the key, the team decided to put their own powers into physical vessels of their own and left them on the surface as the legacies. Now that the lands were ruined, it became harder and harder to live in such conditions. It seemed life on the planet would be gradually snuffed out, including humanity. The reason why the Master of the Key and the World Hero didn't appear in our time of need is because we humans drained the planet of its powers. Thought the Crusadia to mobilize and put an end to humanity's so-called glory, as it was the largest obstacle of revival, the barren lands, and the planet's chances at surviving. They left the 7 mech knights as they built to rule their ruined world after they were. Programming the instructions to help handle the planet, the mech knights were also installed with the data of the Crusadia members they had established a brain link with. If the land could be healed once more and the planet could take back the power it once had, they could perhaps they could avoid imminent disaster. The Crusadia left all their hopes to a faraway future they may not even reach. However, there was one thing they had failed to realize. The mastermind behind the incident was Lee, and she had already been taken by the burning lands where she was found. She was already dead. But in her flesh she released, but only in flesh. Her soul had been released from the physical vessel and she had transferred it into the World Legacy World Chalice. Her will and knowledge. She knew! God, she's a fucking genius. She's playing 5-dimensional checkers. Anyway, back to the second half of the Crusadia stuff. The tremendous power that dwelled within the planet was the very thing that Lee was after. Thought of Rome. Suddenly he was struck by a sense of terror. He could feel the great force of malice that threatened throughout the planet, but from where he could not tell. Perhaps somewhere was trying to beckon the darkness, trying to bring it forth. He had to stop them. He had to stop them before another terrible disaster had begun. At that moment, in Orum's mind, the figure of Ningirsu appeared. The figure of his childhood friend, their tremendous sadness from the loss of Ib, seeking the darkness in his despair at the world. Although slight, he could feel Ningirsu's presence within the malice. It couldn't be. Arum resigned his uneasy heart in his inn. He would need to help stop this malice. He asked the elders of each tribe to lend him their strength. And they answered his pleas with a great number of warriors as the tribes united in a formidable alliance. They named themselves after the warriors of old that their writings spoke of, and thus the second coming of the Crusadia was born. The Crusadia were taken to a hidden spot atop the tribe by the tribe of the sacred trees and activated the World Legacy World Crown. And thus Arum and his companions had now obtained the power that could help them combat the malice that threatened their world. Crusadia Equimax, Spatha, Regulex, and... oh god, I don't remember the other one. Oh no, that's bad. It's the Link one. It's the most important one. The Crusadia had begun their advance towards the giant tower at the center of all of the malice. The orchestrated Babel, towering the skies with their towering in the sky in its metallic magnificence, was surrounded by the Orcus mechanical weapons, waiting on standby in silent formations. Fuck this card. This card sucks. This card is bad. Should be bad. This card is busted. This card's busted. Well, it's busted now because of Hulk. And at the tower's base was Ningirsu, activating the World Legacy World 1. The only thing was on his mind. Now Arum could sense his childhood friend. The swordsman could only think about how much sadder he looked. Arum prayed that he was only overthinking the situation, but he knew that the reality was not a kind one. Ningirsu was there because he had wanted the powers of darkness, and he was at the center of the malice Arum had felt. The truth was that in the end, he awaited him. That was the truth that awaited him at the end of his long search. But no matter how much time had passed, no matter how many things had changed, only one thing remained the same. The one thing that remained the same was Ningirsu was still his friend. Arum thought about what he could do now that he was here. He had to stop Ningirsu from starting a disaster that could mean the end of their world. The only one who could stop this villainy is me, Arum thought, gathering all his courage. He signaled for his companions to mobilize, and now a new battle was about to begin. Now we get to hear the Orcus side of things. Ningirsu's sorrow. When Ningirsu saw what happened, a bolt of guilt pierced through his grief, even his desperation. He never thought this would happen. His eyes could hardly believe what they were seeing. How did it all happen so fast? He prayed that he was dreaming and that he was going to wake soon. All he wanted to see was his dear sister again. As the scene of another nightmare unfurled around him, he became embroiled in a storm of emotions. I need to save Ib. Even as his mind was numbed with a stupor, Ningirsu's body began to move without command. In what looked like an impulsive choice, he struck his childhood friend unconscious, taking both the other man's sword and Ib. What good was this? What good was this world if Ib were not in it? He would not be doing anything, be it good or evil, if he meant he could see her smile again. That single thought of getting his sister back was all Ningirsu needed to force his weary limbs forward. He had the mechanite cores from which the 6 nightmares were defeated. As well, he took the sword from Arum. Using the facilities that were still present in the mechanite headquarters, he analyzed the artifacts with a feverish desperation. This world possesses many mystical powers, similar to that of the world legacies, and if anything had a clue regarding the specifics, it would be the Mechanites. They might even find a way to bring Ib back. Although he was unable to glean a way to resurrect Ib, he had learned a great deal of the number of facilities from the ancient civilization. Ningirsu left the Mechanite headquarters and set off to each one of them, with a lifeless body of his sister in tow. Many of the facilities he had visited had already ceased to work, and the only ones that barely did provided little to no useful information. However, Ningirsu never gave up. There must be a way he could save Ib somehow, with an unwavering belief that his heart could resume his grueling journey. And finally, at long last, he discovered an ancient facility that was still in working condition. This poor guy. These poor guys. I swear, this is the saddest one. Fuck the true Draco story. Fuck the Draco storyline. Fuck the dual terminal storyline. Fuck the Albaz storyline. This is my favorite this is my favorite lore in Yu-Gi-Oh! Absolutely, without a doubt, my favorite lore in Yu-Gi-Oh! After countless weary roads walked, Ningirsu had gotten through more information than any average man would in his life. He had thoroughly inspected the Mechanite cores and several ancient facilities. With what he had gathered included files on the key and technologies thought to be long lost. He had finally unlocked the secrets hidden within the planet. And the truths of the world had become shrouded in mystery. Ningirsu trembled with joy. He could revive his sister now. With his newfound certainty, Ningirsu set about creating a vessel that could house Ib's soul using the ancient technologies. However, this task was to be the most difficult yet. The trial after trial resulted in countless failures and their byproducts. And as the days ticked by, he had amassed enough vessels to create his own army. But at last, his efforts paid off. He could technically create. He finally created a mechanical doll that would work. By synchronizing the doll with the body of his dead sister, he also succeeded in reinitializing the functions of one of the twin swords vital to his plan. So much time had been poured into this endeavor, but at least there was something to show for it. A strange sense of elation began to bubble within Ningirsu. His sister had given her life for this world. Now it was time for him to create a new world for her. Now that Ningirsu's mechanical doll's powers, the second step was to build the orchestrated battle. Orchestrated battle could finally begin. These guys, I swear, they are the saddest characters. I practice one. Is it the Crusadia? Yep. Alright, we're gonna learn the Crusadias. I actually know how to play this deck kind of well. It's not like half the other decks where I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. No, I know how to play this deck really well, actually. Yep. Ruclasia and Leonis are the only ones that you really need. Yep. I know exactly what makes them unique. Yep. I'm gonna win this duel real quick. Yeah. What am I gonna draw? Oh! The crown! It's even better. First normal summon Reclusia, yep. We're gonna link it off into Magius, that's the name. You link them off. Special summon. Activate the effect. We add the boy. Oh, hold on, wait. No, not yet. Link them off into Regulus. Special summon. Crusadia Maximus. Activate Regulus. Activate. Add Crusadia Revival to our hand. Special summon. Crusadia Equinox. The other half of the sword. Raise the attack. Activate Crusadia Revival. Now, special summon. The World Legacy World Crown. Attack your opponent directly with Crusadia Equinox. Crusadia is the biggest OTK deck ever. Like, it is one of my absolute favorite ones for this reason. Part of me does not feel right doing this. I have to, like, but I like having a Crusadia. I hope once the Albaz storyline finishes up, they'll add the playing pure Crusadia. Yeah, you give me just 3 of each of them. Yeah, there is one that we're missing, but that's the payoff for the very end. And then this one teaches you Orchist. Yeah, this one is the Orchist one. Let's play some Crusadia versus Orchist. This is like actually bad though, because like Orchist is meta. Although I don't think they have Crescendo or Ding yet. I'm going first. Why am I going first? Fuck you. Why am I going first? This is bad. I don't. They can't kill me, right? Yeah, no, they can't kill me. I'm gonna say they can't kill me. You can't kill me. There's no way. Orchist can't OTK. Orchist can't OTK. Don't open Dursu. Okay, it's just symbol. What in the fuck is this? Oh, okay. This sucks. Okay, now I think I can OTK. Can I OTK? I can now. That's a Lightning Storm. That's a card. Yeah, I think I can OTK. I literally don't think I need that much. We're gonna Lightning Storm all of those, and we're gonna Raigeki this, and I think I have the OTK. We're gonna normal summon Leonis, and get off into Magius. Go to Magius. Special Crusadia. Maximus. Activate. Crusadia. What? No. Arborea? I don't even know. Wait, oh right, we have Drago too. Where's the highest attack that I can special summon? Because I've already special summoned. It's Leonis, cool. I don't think I can actually OTK, that sucks. Yeah. I need to find a way to get him back is the problem. I need to find a way to get Maximus back, because you actually need Maximus to OTK. I do know that you do need him to OTK. This searches out a spell? Is there a spell that I can use? Is there a... I kinda have to just add this and hope that it's enough. That sucks. I really wanted to OTK. No. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I can go into the Ick, but it's just not enough. Damn it! Oh well. What? You're only 2k? What the fuck? I thought Equinox was 23. I'm so dumb. Damn it, I'm not playing the Kaiju. Damn it, I don't have the Kaiju variant. That sucks. The Kaiju variant is like absolutely the best variant of this deck. Alright, just switch some brass bombard. Oh, that's the best top deck I could have asked for. Leonis gives piercing, so we'll give it. This just protects it. Oh, look at it. It's just that easy, guys. Speed up is fun. I mean, we had the gold, but I'm not going to hit the gold. Why would I hit the gold? That sounds really bad. I don't know. I want to hear more of the lore. I mean, I do want to hear more of the lore. The problem is... Whoa! I have just enough. Damn. And then this is practice with Orcus, and you play Orcus one. I want to play Orcus. I like Orcus. If you guys remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Through time, please give me the best spot Orcus Fairy. That deck was fucking lit. This is... Oh, God. Fuck this. This hand sucks. What the fuck am I looking at? Fuck this hand. This hand sucks. Oh. Oh, that's very much... That's very much a card that can... Yeah. Don't tell me to play charge hardcore. Fuck you! I mean, you're not wrong. Pitch this. Special brass bombard. In defense. World one. World armor, I guess. No, I can link into Galatea first! But go into Galatea! This is just a waste of material! I can save it for later! Why? This is a waste of material. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you a waste of fucking material. No, I want to set Pebble! Fuck you. Or Crescendo. Do I have Crescendo? I don't know if I have Crescendo. Yeah, I'm aware of what it does. Special Brass Bombard. Then I go to Long Gear, so when I win. This was the dumbest bit ever. God, I love these archetypes though. I love this whole art. I love all of them. I love them all. I've literally, I think, throughout like my entire time of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I think the only one I never fucked around with at all is Mechna. It's the only one I didn't really fuck around with. I was like, Mechna's pretty easy to learn. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. I could like, oh, cool. That's really cool actually. What is the fuck is this? Do I at least have Crescendo? I at least have Crescendo. That's good. I at least have Crescendo and I have Ding. I don't have Girsu though. Oh, fuck off. I don't have Girsu. This sucks. Damn it, Girsu's so good. I get why we don't have it, because he's like later on. He's way later on, but man, that sucks. No, I'm gonna do all these duels. Fuck, Orcus deck so hard. Oh, it's an Orcus mirror match. Oh, this is weird. The fuck is... I mean, Lightning Storm. You have the Crescendo set! Oh my god! No, stop! Where's the second word? Bro, this head sucks. Oh wait, I can push some Jinzo. That's fine. Send a Jinzo. Special the boy! I mean, he has a Dark Machine, so he's like very, very much... Battle phase. Attack. Just so you know, this card sucks. It's... the shittiest Monster Reborn ever. Harp. Fuck! Oh, this archetype sucks so badly. There's something I can do. No, I'm good. I'm fine. Jinzo's a floodgate. Jinzo's a hell of a floodgate, so if you don't know. Fuck you! Stop rubbing it in that you can activate it, and I can't. How do I... Are they sync? Oh, no, they're only something. I want to talk about it! I don't want to talk about it. Fuck you! Alright, give me an Orcus card. That is not an Orcus card. Do I have a rank 6 that I can go into? I have a rank 6. Oh yeah, I'll take the ding. Sure. Bro, why doesn't Jinzo have its own unique summoning animation? Give me this. Upgrade! I can't out that though. I'm just gonna steal the fucking shield now and just push for... Do I have lethal? I do have lethal. This is the stupidest fucking deck ever. You better not draw an Orcus. I'm gonna be so pissed. Bro, stop! No! That is live! Oh joy, they're all now quick effects. Oh god, another pot greed, thank god. I guess it's not really pot greed, it's 4 trading, isn't it? Oh! Oh! An Orcus! Hallelujah! Hallelujah, an Orcus. I don't know if you know this, but I hate Orcus when I can't do the janky shenanigan fun shit. When I can't do the fun bullshit that is junky. No! Oh my god, if I said anything but crescendo, I'm bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Ding. I'm going on top, into ding. Activate the effective ding. Summon card my opponent controls to the grave. Cancel. Send. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I have much for Reborn. I can figure out what I can Reborn. I can figure out what I can Reborn, but give me Harp! This is not Harp. How do I beat this? How do I out this? I don't have a way to out this, do I? Do I have a big fucking monster? Ah, I got it. Yep. Returner! I'll put you on the fucking clock. This is the dumbest way to win. This is the dumbest fucking way to win. You better draw a monster I can out my Jingo. Oh my god. Oh my god. He does not have a way to out my Jinzo Returner. Oh, Duster. I don't even need Duster, do I? Doesn't come off. Ah! Why would you set my ding? It's going out, Christian. Oh my god. How do I out these? Okay, my traps are now live. It's pointing at something! Oh wait, not anymore. Haha. Genius. Fucking genius. Ah. I don't even know what's going to. Fuck. No, I want to have make sure my crescendo's live. Cool, that's fine. So the card your opponent controls to the grave. Cancel. Aha. Cool, I 9 cents back here in. That's fine. I win! Crescendo! I win! Yay! Fuck this. I hate this duel. I hated this duel. God. Damn, battle! Win! You do not... No! No! I'm into. What can I even do? I can Feather Duster? I should have Feather Dustered. It's not bad. To make a second ding. To make a second ding, just to be safe. To make a second ding, activate ding, send a card to opponent controls to the grave, banish the Equestrian. It's not over yet. I have orchestrated attack sets. Babel, Ein sets. What is Babel's graveyard effect? What? That sucks. I'll activate the crescendo, I guess. Let's get to me another Orcus. Where's Harp? Harp, come to my hand. God damn. One copy of Harp sucks. Having only one copy of Harp is not fun. I don't like having one copy of Harp. Back to a quick effect. Fuck off. Okay. Here, yeah, we're gonna do Barricade Lord, we're gonna do these two. Go to board. Discard one card. Activate the effect of Harp. Engrave. And a special symbol. Face of attack. And a special summon. Another Long Jirsu. Special summon. Ding number 3! Like hell you're ever gonna ever special summon 3 copies of Ding. I guess I am in this one duel because fuck off. Send to the grave. Do I have it? I think I have lethal. I have lethal. What's that thing float? It does not float! Yay! I did it! I won! Fuck that duel. Goddamn. Okay. Oh. Cool. Loner deck 1. My deck not 1. I earned... This is gonna be even worse, isn't it? Oh. What am I looking at? This is an abomination. Oh, fuck gimmick puppets. I'm not playing with gimmick puppets today. Tell you what. I'll do that off screen. We did one Crusadia. Let's end this. Let's end it. I wanna have it ended. I wanna click that end button. I wanna see how this battle turns out. The Crusadia headed toward where Ningirsu was. However, before they could reach him, they had to get past countless Orcust weaponry. The Orcust were merciless as they were numerous, and the Crusadia suffered greatly as they tried to fight their way through. In the heart of the battle, RM began to feel within the Orcust babble that dwelled upon the power that was dwelled on a power similar to that of his key. The mechanical vessel whatever little of the key's powers had inherited activated the orchestrated babble. From the depths of the tower, a great light was released, and the tower itself seemed to almost fall away as a beam stretched into the sky above. No, the activation must be stopped, Urim thought as he dashed towards the machinery. However, before he could move any further, Ningirsu appeared before him. It was the first time they had seen each other since that tragedy long ago. Their eyes met with the chaos of the battle. Urim opened his mouth to speak. Why? He asked. Would you want anything to do with the great darkness? Why would you put our planet under threat like this? Why did you create this spiraling power and this army of mechanical weapons? Ningirsu only had one simple answer for Ib. It was the only reason he needed. For his sister, he was willing to activate the Babel to strike the World Legacy World Wand down from the skies and break the Earth's surface, so he could awaken the slumbering World Legacy World Ark to use its influence over life and death to revive Ib's soul. After the great darkness had been freed from within the Earth, he used his powers to resurrect Ib as a celestial being. Now that he had heard the truth from Ningirsu, RM readied his sword and knew that he had to stop this at all costs. Ningirsu did not budge, and instead swung his lance in return. No one was going to stand in his way, not even RM. The swordsman knew that Ningirsu loved Ib more than anyone in the world, but that did not make it right for him to put the entire planet in danger like this. RM knew that if Ib would not want this, even if it meant she could live once more. However, for Ningirsu, there was nothing more he wanted more than to see his sister open her eyes again. And if that meant he had to turn against the entire world, so be it. Both men had already made their minds up on what they wanted to achieve. Neither wanted to budge, and so they clashed, but neither could gain a decisive advantage. The orchestrated Babel activated, and at last, the World Wand had been toppled. And what fell to Earth, it gored the land below, and resulting in a shockwave. We have one more Star-Studded Futures. We have one more arc. And it involves the revival of Ib, as well as the entire Guard Dragon archetype. Oh boy, it's time to talk about the Guard. Oh boy. That's the next one. Next time on Master Duel, we're going to do more of the fun solo. We're going to do some of the different ones. We're going to do Enforcers of Justice, Fairies who paint the weather, Herald Guidance, 6 Sams, maybe something else. I don't know. We'll probably actually do 6 Sams just because the 6 Sams are cool. See you guys then.